Hi, I'm Sandy Gardner, coming to you from Cloud Imperium's development offices in Santa Monica, California. Today, we check in with the 15 teams who have already qualified, plus reveal who you chose for the 16th spot. The competition is just getting started for the Next Great Starship. Welcome to episode 4 of the Next Great Starship. Last week, the judges finalized their 15 picks for the competition. And those teams have begun their work on the concept art for the mercenary gunship. I had a chance to check in with them, so let's see how they're doing and what their reaction was.
You see me?
Did you start recording?
Hey yo, how's the camera angle?
Oh, that's a big office.
At least it seems to be working.
Ciao.
Ciao. How are you?
Hi guys.
Hi Sandy, the team cryo here.
So I'm having a little trouble seeing you.
The internet in Alaska is the worst of any state.
Greetings, I'm Alexander Lopkepanidze. I'm the leader of the team Troika.
I'm Paul Benassi. My form handle is Neurological, and I'm representing Team 4 Horsemen.
Hi, I'm Jan Michigan. I'm the only member from One Bit Amoeba.
Hi, my name is Brian Cousins. I'm the leader of Shard Collective.
Hi Sandy, I'm Nicholas. Hi Sandy, I'm Malte, and we are Team Vision Cut.
Hi Sandy, Simon from Team Shimapan. How are you?
Hi Sandy! This is Brett Dingo, man! Brett Dingo.
My name is Paul, and my team is Talent Corporation.
I am Team Skyguard Fabrications.
Hi Sandy, I'm Salvador from Aries, okay, take two.
I'm Jared Ricard, and we're Team Catapult. Hey, I'm John Hinkleman. We're Team Catapult. Hey Sandy, this is Scott from Team Catapult.
Hi Sandy, I'm Salvador from Team Aries Heavy Manufacturing. Okay, take three.
As you most probably know, I'm Pro Team Captain.
I'm Ben, I'm the sole member of Team Belafonte.
Hey Sandy, I'm E. Phalanx from Tri.
How excited is your team to be one of the 16 finalists?
Why, very excited. What else can I say?
I was surprised, of course. Actually, I was drinking when
We put a lot of work into it and had a lot of fun doing it, so it's nice to see it pay off.
It was pretty awesome.
When I found out that we got into the top 16, I kind of jumped up in my chair, like, yeah!
To the start, we speechless. Okay, speechless. Yeah, this word. We was to this weekend, believe on this. We was like, whoa, yeah.
I think we're a little scared, actually.
You mean we actually have to produce now?
Yeah.
I think I may have even seen a comment from your sister saying, "That's my brother." Is that true? I was just like, wow.
Yeah. It was pretty crazy. My family, they went insane.
This is giant for me. Like, this is geek Super Bowl, I'm telling you.
I don't know what to say, but I can smile. I can smile a lot. I cannot erase my smile from my face.
What did you think of the show?
I thought it was great. I think that there's some just amazing talent out there.
I went into it hoping it'd be good. And I was actually really quite happily surprised. I thought the judges, they knew their field quite well, you know, they knew what they were talking about. And that's quite nice to see, actually.
But we really didn't know how the judging will go or what to really expect, and we will suppress the results. Damn good job, if I am allowed to say that.
It's fun to watch and kind of see them break down what someone's done.
I was actually surprised at the level of technicality that it went to. It was very interesting.
I didn't think that they would be giving such constructive feedback, which is cool.
We appreciate that Chris Roberts himself showed up and gave his feedback.
Chris Roberts saying that it was one of his favorites was incredibly satisfying. I mean, it was such a huge sense of relief that I put something together that Chris Roberts loves. And not just him, everyone on the panel. Like Mark Skelton's reaction, that has basically become a meme between me and my friends, where he just says, sick, it's so sick.
So sick, so sick.
How did you feel about the community's choice for the mercenary gunship?
I'm really quite happy with it, actually. It was pretty much what we wanted to make as well.
I was looking for something a little bit smaller, but it's okay.
Gunships
something that everybody kind of wants to do, so I was thinking, well, maybe we'll do something different. But it looked like everybody was picking a gunship.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun ship to design.
Actually, in the beginning, I didn't like it, but after a time, when I made the first concept and thinking about how it should look, I really liked it in the end.
I actually voted for the one that got the least votes, but whatever. It's okay, everyone loves gunship. I love gunships.
I have so many weapons. Looks like strong, so we like it.
We love
Yeah.
it. Oh, I love it.
You can put a lot of detail into it, basically a lot of functionality and stuff like that.
Me and my small guild, we basically want to play as mercenaries who hunt down pirates, which is exactly what we have to build the ship for. So it really does feel like I'm making a ship for me and my friends. So that's pretty awesome.
I wanted a ship that me and my wife and my daughter could all fly around with at once, and that seemed like the best choice, and so I voted for it.
Are your wife and daughter gamers?
They're gonna play this one.
Have you guys gotten started yet?
Yeah, we started, but we can't really show something good yet.
But no little screenshots to show us just yet.
Not yet, not yet.
No.
Sorry.
More few scribbles on the paper and blocking out some models.
We are doing a lot of groundwork, this is on a number of things before actually getting to work.
We're in that phase where we're trying to come up with the look and feel and the functionality of the thing on a very basic level. We're very close to finishing that, and then we're gonna go into the concept model and detail model phase and detail concept phase. So,
have you started drawing the next gunship?
Yeah. Do you want to see? Yes.
Absolutely.
Nice concept.
Haha, I love it. Whoa. Pull it back a little bit.
I'm not sure.
I'll just like spin the camera around like that. You can.
I have some stuff to show, some stuff might be a little too finished to show at this point.
Okay. Did the feedback from the judges help you for this current stage?
Oh, definitely. And by the same time, I think it was much easier before we have a kind of single vision.
I don't know if we're sketching it up so much as doodling at this point.
Okay, doodling, sketching.
I think we like what we've got, but you know, it's going to take iteration and time and seeing what everyone else is doing a little bit to kind of firm up the entire thing. So we're feeling good and confident about it.
Would you like to say something in Russian to the Russian community?
Да. Спасибо за поддержку, ребята. Мужики, дамы, господа, горжусь вашей поддержкой точно так же, как вы гордитесь с нами.
Und noch einmal auf Deutsch.
Ich hoffe, dass die Community unser Video sehr mag und ja, wir freuen uns auf den Contest.
Ragazzi, fidatevi, è veramente un bel progetto. Passate a vedere, dateci un occhio. This is what I want to say to the Italians.
Bueno, para todos los que estén en el foro de Star Citizen y todo lo demás, si hay algún artista que esté en los equipos, mis saludos y para que nos contactemos y nos vamos a ver en el espacio muy pronto.
Is there anything that you want to say to the community?
I'm really excited to be a part of this. It should be a pretty cool ride.
We know the teams have all started on their concept designs, and we thought what better way to share with you what that entails than by showing you what we do right here at Cloud Imperium.
Hi, my name's David Hobbins. I'm a concept artist at Cloud Imperium Games. My job at Cloud Imperium entails designing the coolest spaceships possible. And at the moment, I'm working on a new starship called the Mustang. It's a starter ship that will be single-seater. It's going to be small, lightweight, very fast. It's going to be a competitor to the Aurora. When I'm designing for a 3D immersive experience, there's a number of design problems in the collision of all these complex systems. So part of my job is just being a problem solver, figuring these things out so that they work for the in-game experience. When I was super young, I lived close to an Air Force base, and I would regularly go to air shows and would just be exhilarated by the speed and the shapes of these things. This, I think, led me to study transportation design at Art Center College of Design in Pasadena. At school, I ultimately ended up getting more into entertainment design, and then I was able to employ what I'd learned designing for real-world vehicles into fantastical vehicles for film and games. Before video games, I've worked for Lucasfilm for a number of years. I also worked for Image Movers Digital, and most recently I worked for an effects studio in London, MPC, for a Marvel project, Guardians of the Galaxy. My day-to-day process involves taking a design brief and bringing it all the way through to basically a set of blueprint instructions. Essentially, I'm tasked with bringing the ship to life. I always try to approach it like I'm blueprinting a real ship. Even though it's for a science fiction property, it still has to be believable to an audience. I start by very carefully reading over the design brief. And the design brief is basically a list of instructions, the big idea of what this ship is. I typically start thinking of words. I think about how I want this vehicle to feel and be received. So, example, it may be fast or utilitarian or robust, even scary. I usually start sketching the idea out. I call these ideation sketches, and they're essentially doodles or visual brainstorming. Once I've drawn a number of ideas that I like and I think I have something, I'll typically scan it and import it into the computer. And typically from that point on, I'm working digitally. My process once inside the computer, I usually start working the profile or silhouette of the ship. Once I have a profile I sort of like of the ship, I immediately start placing and rearranging the major components. The pilot's cockpit area, the major power plants, fuel, landing gear assembly. All these things have to be contained within the skin of the ship. I'm fighting this design task on two different fronts. One is to have a beautiful shape, and the other is to fill all the functional requirements. Sometimes it can be challenging to juggle these two contradictory requirements, but ultimately, placing these things, these major components in early enough actually can inform the exterior and the overall shape in really interesting ways. And as well, it can also tell the story of the ship's utility and function, which should be obvious as part of its design story. Once I have a profile and a package architecture, that's an arrangement of all the major components, I take that and import it into a 3D application. From here, I start blocking out rough geometry and getting a feel for how this thing looks as I move around it in 3D space. So I've imported the profile image plane, and I've started to block out some rough geometry here.
Okay.
So,
yeah, it's different. I like the feel. Good. Can you go sideways a bit? Oh, cool. You can almost sort of feel like it's like a horse up on its hind legs.
Typically, Chris Roberts and I will interact 4 or 5 times on the early concept phase of a particular spaceship. I've just been dragging this along and doing sort of iterations, adding features, and then ultimately I've landed on this type of package. This configuration. The way that Chris and I work together is I'll let him know that I have some new art to show him, and he'll come over and check it out, and we'll start a dialogue.
So I guess a couple of things for me would be how are we getting in and out of the cockpit? Is the cockpit going to open, or are we going to make a hatch somewhere that you can climb in and out and also use for EVA? I don't think there would be too much fancy stuff happening on this because obviously it's a lower sort of starter ship. The other things is cargo. Where's the cargo going to be?
Well, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, right now, originally I thought that there would be a sleeper cabin here, but what I can do is just open this up,
okay,
and put the cargo hold here.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No, because the way I would see it is like, so they're Consolidated Outland. They're a sort of new manufacturer, so they don't have all the stuff that RSI has, right. And so they probably will be designing their ship to use some standard parts. Okay. So like maybe they could use the standard Aurora container, right, and it could just plug in, and so that you could just interchange it. Okay. But I would think that, because they're meant to be sort of lighter and faster, they couldn't necessarily have the bigger containers, right, just have a smaller container. The smallest one. Okay. I guess the other thing, looking around, you got these two guns gimbaled out the front, which is actually a kind of a fairly big advantage over the Aurora, because the Aurora's got fixed guns, and there's going to be two guns on the side there too. Yeah, and I don't think you put any missile racks or anything in them. I can't remember if in the spec we have any missiles, but
I don't know about missiles yet. So
okay. Well, I'm just trying to think, because generally, like right now, the Aurora has all fixed weapons, guns, and so that's not fixed, it's gimbaled, so that's obviously an advantage over the Aurora. So one thing I would think is perhaps maybe this won't have missiles, and therefore that'll be sort of like, it'll be lighter, it'll be faster, a little more flimsy, and be sort of more a gun platform, and the Aurora would be more sturdy, heavier, could carry more cargo, and then have missiles, and so it's sort of kind of up to what you're doing. But no, I really quite dig it. So
right,
that's
awesome.
Cool.
Thank you.
All right. I'll be back.
Yeah. Another part of the process is that there's an art department in Austin that I'm interacting with. I'll get on a video call with them, get their feedback and ideas.
Hey. Hey, man. How are you, man?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Green shirt's making you look a little big there, Chris.
Those guns.
Yeah. My stomach? It's actually tight.
I have some new design work to show you on the Mustang. Basically, I've been doing some ideating, and I've got a profile sketch and some of the interior architecture figured out. Here's the Mustang profile. The pink areas are where I'm considering making passenger compartments, and I just have the little Oscar astronaut in there for scale. What do you guys think?
So it sits right on its wing, correct? On both sides?
Yeah, I thought that the wings and landing gear, they could sort of remain fixed, serve double duty. I really appreciate the thought that Chris has put into every facet of the world he's creating. He has a super critical eye that's always asking, how can this be better? How can this be more functional? How can this look better? How can the player experience be better? Once I have a rough block in that I'm happy with, typically I'll render out a quick image and paint and sketch over that image, sort of plotting where I might go with graphics and specific surfacing. Once Chris Roberts has signed off on the basic block end and function of the ship, I'll typically go in deeper and refine each of those 3D surfaces. And then here's the rear view with the
cool.
loading fork down.
Yeah, I like the little piston detail stuff. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's what that will be able to.
Well, this is kind of nice on the inside. That's cool.
After that, typically I'll start thinking about the livery of the ship, which is basically its major materials and graphics. So that process really involves going back, thinking about the backstory of the particular ship, what I want to convey with these graphics and what its function is, finding reference, and usually I give Chris a number of iterations of which to choose from. So I have these options for you.
So I guess one thing, I guess these are meant to sort of feel like the panels. And the only thing is generally that sort of works better, I think, for the bigger capital ships where you sort of have the panels and it gives you a sense of scale. So it sort of makes it a bit patchy. I mean, like on all these ones, the one that my eye really gets drawn to more is this one, just because I kind of like the color and the line detail there. So it sort of, it accentuates, like that shot there, it's really cool. It really accentuates the sort of, that thing feels fast. Yeah. It feels cool. It feels sexy. Whereas in like maybe some of this, you don't get the same. Like if you take a look at
the panel breakup, the high contrast of it almost slows it down. When Chris rejects one of my ideas or a particular visual element, it's okay. It's really just par for the course. As a designer, critique is the only way I'm going to improve. I welcome it. Oftentimes, at that point, if Chris has signed off, I'll be asked to put that vehicle into a situation, into a world, into a painting where people and aliens will be interacting with the ship.
Wow, that looks awesome.
What I've been doing there. Nice.
That's pretty brilliant.
Yeah, so I saw these two, they're kind of in hot pursuit. I love that part of the process. I think that's where the ship really starts coming to life for me. I'm super excited about the Mustang and I can't wait for Chris to share it with fans. Getting Chris's feedback throughout the process has been invaluable and I think he's really pleased with the results. Working with Chris Roberts has improved my work and made me a better designer. I hope the teams on the Next Great Starship realize how valuable this feedback is.
I would finish up the little bits of details you want to do and then we can pass it over to the folks to model from your base block out. That'd be great.
We will be tracking the progress of the new Star Citizen Mustang throughout the entire season. But now it is time to find out who won the wildcard vote. I had the honor of letting the winning team know that they made the final 16.
Hi.
Ah, hey guys.
Hi, can you see us?
Yes, I can see you. So guys, it's official, you won the wildcard vote, you blew away the competition, and now you're in the final 16. How do you feel?
Oh, nice game! It was really a surprise for all of us. So
Are you excited? I voted for you.
Yes, very, very much. Really, really excited. I think the first day, none of us could sleep after we saw the first votes on Friday.
Do you guys want to introduce yourselves real quick?
I'm Philipp Sackler. I'm Philipp Erchinger.
I'm Hannah Erchinger.
My sister.
I'm so excited to have a female in the competition. It's cool. Infinite. And so why did you choose the name Infinite Shoe Monkey?
To be precise, it's called Infinite Shoe Monkey because I chose the name for my forum of my wife. And it's the family name of my wife. It's actually pronounced Schuhe. But Philip got it wrong the first time and we immediately imagined the logo of the Infinite Shoe Monkey with the huge shoes. So that's why we stuck to the name for the team.
Yeah, but my nickname is Infi.
Yeah, Infi
from Infinity.
And I'm known as Monkey.
Yeah.
Have you been doing the concept art?
We ended up with basically 2 sketches, which we worked on a bit further in 3D. And now we've come up with 1 sketch with 1 variation that we liked very much. And this is the one that we are going to present in the video. Together with the others, of course, but this one's the main.
So good enough to blow everybody else out of the water and fly to Los Angeles?
Of course, definitely.
All right, guys, we'll see you later. Best of luck in the competition.
Thank you for the call. Very nice to see.
Next week, the judges will start to evaluate the team's concept art. And we hope it's good, because not everybody will be moving on. See you every Friday for the Next Great Starship.